Oh, well, let's go to 8th century China, and I'm holding a bowl of rice in my hands, and I go into a time machine, Generation X, and I'm holding a bowl of rice in my hand, and I said to the Chinese person in 8th century China, Mr. Chinese person, I'm holding a bowl of my rice. I'm holding a bowl of my rice. Keeps messing that up. I'm holding a bowl of rice in my hands, and I'm not holding a bowl of rice in my hands at the same time. What do you think 8th century Chinese people would say about that?
They would look at you to see if you had it in your hand or not.
Right. And so if I said it was in my hands and not in my hands at the same time, what would they say?
It's a
They
contradiction.
would probably call you
Crazy.
They call you. Well, I don't know. I don't know the Chinese, but I think they would call you crazy.
Crazy. Why? Why?
Because if
Generation
you're
X,
holding,
why?
if they're looking at you and you're holding a bowl of rice in your hand, you're saying you're not. They're gonna look at you dumbfounded.
That's right, because I did what to myself?
Well, you contradicted yourself.
So is it true for everywhere at all times, everywhere, that there's a law of non-contradiction?
I would assume so.
Okay. Now, is it something that's made out of matter? Is a law made out of matter?
Is a law made out of matter? No.
No. So it's immaterial.
Wait, I like to say laws don't matter, but they do.
Well, it's not made out of matter, so it must be immaterial, right?
Right.
Okay. Is it something that can change? Can I change the law of non-contradiction?
Of course you could.
I could change the law of non-contradiction? Well, maybe I could change it, but would that make any sense?
No, you cannot change the laws of contradiction.
No, you can't change it. And if I did change it, then I would be making a mistake, which means I'd have to use the law of non-contradiction to reaffirm what the true law of non-contradiction is. What we're doing right now, Generation X, is we're using something that Aristotle identified a long time ago called the laws of logic, and I'm sure you've heard that before. Now, it's not something that's made out of matter. He didn't invent the laws of logic. He just identified it, and that's why we call it the laws of logic today. But the reason I'm bringing this up to you, Generation X, is I'm trying to share something with you. If a law that's not made out of matter, that requires us to use our brain in order to communicate, such as the law of non-contradiction, if that truly exists, then where is it?
Okay, we got one more person I'm adding in. Caller, you there?
No clue.
Okay. Is it possible, I'm just going to throw something out at you, Generation X, is it possible that the law of non-contradiction we are governed by one holy God that transcends time, space, and matter? Is that a total possibility?
Okay,
if you see it that way, I don't think we're governed by anybody but ourselves.
Okay, but that doesn't make any sense because I'm not. Hey, Generation X, I'm not sharing the same brain as you. So for all you know, my laws of logic are different than yours, and my thoughts and feelings are different than yours. So why are yours valid and mine are not?
Nobody said anybody was valid. Everybody's their own person.
How do you know that? You really don't know anything. So right now your worldview is this, and I'm saying this completely out of love. I know I'm strong with you, but I really want you to know the truth. I really want you to know the truth, Generation X.
Hey, Chad, we've got one more caller. Let's just see who they are. Caller, you out there?
Absolutely.
Hello. Area code 407. You out there?
Yeah. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Are you listening? Are you listening to a conversation?
Yeah.
Okay. Your name is?
My name's Ed.
Ed. Well, you just? I don't know. You want to just add your 2 cents? You want to listen a little bit?
Yeah, I'm listening right now.
All right. Listen, enjoy, and whenever you're ready, just come on in. Chad, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I'm just sharing this. Well, now that we got a new listener, this is excellent. Listener, if you're listening, just keep on listening, and maybe God will speak to you here. That's my goal. Is I'll give you guys a little snapshot of who I am. Maybe you know who Mark and Felix are, but I am. I'm not part of their show in the sense that I did not originate with them. I'm a Bible believing Christian who is an evangelist and apologist, and I talk to many atheists, agnostics, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, Catholics. I talk to many people and defend my faith and show them that they're wrong, with all love and sincerity, of course. But my goal is to see them converted to Christ, not to get in an argument. So that's why I'm challenging you, Generation X, because I want you to understand the truth about God. So let's just go back to these. Let's go back to these laws of logic, because I think it's very, very important that you understand this. See,
Right. Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, my name is Citizen X, not Generation X.
Oh, what is it?
Oh.
Citizen X.
Citizen X?
Citizen
Hello?
X. I talk on many shows, and I've actually got my own show here.
Hey, bro, hold on one second. Felix, you have to turn off the gentleman that just called. He's got a lot of background noise there.
No, he's quiet.
He hasn't said anything, as far as I know.
Ed, you there?
Right, but is he still on the line?
Yeah. Ed, you there?
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right, Ed. Are you, Chad, you want to ask a quick question? This is Ed on the line.
Okay, well, is this a new guy or the guy that just
The new
called?
guy.
He's the new person.
He's a new one. Okay, gotcha. Ed, how you doing?
All right, man.
Good. I'm just talking to the gentleman there, and I could not hear what his name was. I think
Citizen
he's
Citizen
calling
X.
himself
Citizen X.
Citizen X. Okay. I keep calling him Generation X, but it's actually Citizen X. Okay. So now we have Ed on the other line. How you doing, Ed?
All right, man. Sounds like Citizen Kane.
Yeah, right.
Great movie.
Craziness going on. Sounds like Citizen Kane. Yeah, that's right.
What's that?
Hey, Ed, I'm
Rosebud.
curious if you're spiritual or not spiritual.
I definitely believe in spiritualism. I mean, the righteousness of Christ is, it's a good thing. But, at the same time, you got to realize we're in the world, and we got to, be polite and respect other people that have different opinions of ours.
So, would you consider yourself to be a Christian?
Yes.
You're a Christian, okay, but you don't evangelize to anybody?
I evangelize, yeah.
Okay. Well, interesting. Well,
Everybody has, Christians, I tell people that, Christians, that Christ is righteousness, and that's the way this country needs to move. It's not so much the country, it's the people. The people, this we were founded with limited government, because most of the people at that time were Christians, and they believed in their self and believed in righteousness to Christ, and there was no need for a large government. But unfortunately, today we have this huge, monstrous government that's antichrist.
You guys want to chime in there on
Ed,
the government conversation?
Do you view government as the Antichrist?
Well, the ones that are teaching our children in the public school, yeah, a lot of them. I think the beast count. The beast is government, but it's like the original Christians. The Christ. He said, you don't want to go to the Romans for your answers. You don't want to go to the government for your answers, because the answers come from within. Let's take care of them. That's why our fathers, who were Christians, wanted very little government. Unfortunately, we got away from that.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Why don't we do this, bro? I don't mind you guys talking about this, but I was in the middle of a conversation with Citizens X. Do you want me to?
No, go right ahead, because I'll tell you. As I have to tell you,
okay,
as a retired teacher, this is a teacher's dream, to raise a question and then have the class banter back and forth and discuss. This is how college professors make a living without saying anything. Okay, they raise points, and if they're fortunate enough to have a class that there is a free exchange of ideas, they could just sit back and let the.
But But what he's saying is he'd like to go back and continue his conversation with.
No, he could go. Listen,
Go ahead.
that's fine. No,
Go
that's
ahead.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, go ahead. Mark, go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say. The only reason I was asking that was because it sounded like when Ed chimed in, it started a new conversation. So I thought maybe we should finish one conversation before we went to another.
We should go. We should go back to.
Well, you were in the middle of a
Citizen X,
conversation,
yeah,
but
we
I
should.
mean, if Ed feels that he has something to add to the conversation you're having with Citizen X, he should feel free to join in. That's all I'm saying. That's why I say, as a retired
Well,
you know,
he's asking questions about. He's asking questions though about government and Antichrist. We were talking about laws of logic, so I wasn't sure if you wanted to.
No,
It's up to you guys. I can
let's
take a pause from
finish
it.
up the laws of logic, and then we'll go on to
no, that's okay.
some ideas that Ed has.
Okay, that's fine. No big deal, guys. No big deal. Okay, listen, Ed, just hang on the line. We're gonna get to your conversation with Mark and Felix in just a minute. I'm just gonna finish up the conversation with Citizens. Okay.
We're good.
Okay. So, Citizen, I got you still on the line there. Are you holding on?
I'm still here. I'm on the porch
Okay.
having a cup of coffee.
Very good. Well, friend, it sounds like you're a real open person, at least discussing these things. And I was just explaining to you that evolution, in a macro sense, that we come from a big bang, somehow we got here in this universe, right? Whether you believe we were created by God or you believe that we were created by natural means. You sound more like a naturalist, right? Somebody that believes that we got here naturally through some sort of cosmic chemical reaction. Is that true, or am I putting words in your mouth?
I got here from my mother and my father.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about the origins, the ontological view of life. Where do you think life evolved from?
I don't know. You know, I've had 50 conversations with that over bonfires when I used to surf, and I'm totally exhausted from that. I don't give it any thought.
You don't give it any thought? Well, God wants you to know. He wants you to know something very interesting, and I'm going to go to Romans chapter 1, just real quick, and I'm going to let Mark and Felix take over here. Romans chapter 1, verses 18 through 20, it says something very interesting. I want you to hear this if you're open to it, okay, citizens? Okay. It says, starting in verse 18, "For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known about God is manifest to them, for God has shown it to them. For the invisible things of him which from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so they are without an excuse." So there's a very interesting verbiage that Paul is using here. He's saying, citizens, that you do know the truth about God, and you know the truth about life and how it relates to God. The problem is, and I'm saying this with all love and dignity for you, my friend, is that you suppress that truth in unrighteousness. In other words, you refuse to listen to it with your life. And what has happened is God has shown it to you. Now, I just showed you an idea of what he could be talking about. He's obviously talking about creation, but there's something else that he's talking about, his invisible attributes. God's invisible attributes are something called immaterial realities. Now, I'm going to use you as an example, citizens, if you don't mind. I just want to talk to you for a few minutes and just talk about your life. Are you a married man?
I am.
Do you love your wife?
I do.
Do you have any children?
We have 4 children.
Praise the Lord, so do I. How young are your children?
I have a 2-year-old, I have an 8-year-old, I have a 12-year-old, and I have a 14-year-old.
Wow, that's about the age of my kids. Let me ask you this question. You say you love your family. In what way do you love your family?
I love my family, you know?
Well, do you take care of them?
Of course I do.
You work for a living, you pay your bills, you make sure they go to school, right?
That's right.
You hug them at night, give them a kiss at night, read them their stories.
Yep.
Okay, now let me ask you this question. Oh,
All
go
right.
ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. My question to you is, since you don't know if God really truly does exist, and you don't know how we got here, how do you know that the love that you're experiencing is the right kind of love?